Number two, number two, the destruction of other nations, the destruction of our nation. If my country is at peace and have good leaders, I don't have to run away from my country. But if my country is getting destroyed and it is getting destroyed on a higher level by these countries, let's take, for example, Canadian mining companies which go to Africa sponsoring rebel groups so that they can kill us or that they can turn us into refugees just so they can get to have maximum exploitation of our countries, our very rich countries. Africa is the richest continent, but we get sabotaged. The criminal dictatorship that is currently in power in Rwanda, in Uganda, came into power because the US, the UK, they helped them come into power. So they help these criminal dictators come into power by destroying our nations. And then they turn so many people into refugees. And then they're wondering why we're turning up in their own countries. We turn up in their own countries because we have heard that you have freedom over here, that we will be free over here. And we're running away from dictatorships, criminal dictatorships, the destruction of our nations, which on a higher level were being destroyed by these countries that we run to. But we're thinking that maybe we will have peace in your own country, in these countries that don't want peace for us in Africa. Maybe we will have peace in your country. So we will come to your country and have peace and have freedom because on a higher level, you participate in the destruction of our nations and you install criminal dictatorships that make our countries unlivable. So the destruction of other nations is also part of the root cause behind this immigration. You destroy other nations out there, their people run away, and then they're going to run to your country and bring some of the stuff that you don't want. So another solution would be, how about you stop destroying other people's countries? You know, how about you stop destroying other people's countries? And uh, Canadians, for example, Canada is so rich. Why can't the Canadian mining companies mine in Canada and do all their explorations in Canada? They have so much untapped wealth. But no, they're going to go destroy our nations out there, create wars in Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, and turn us into refugees. And then we turn up in their country and they're like, yeah. So you want to resolve the immigration issue from the root? Stop the destruction of other nations. How about you become independent? Because right now you depend on going out there to exploit these other nations. You see France invading Africa, bombarding Africa, and imposing president. They did it in Cote d'Ivoire. What about Libya? A crisis created by the West, destroying our nations, and then getting surprised. The people are running away, coming to the West. So it has to stop. The West has to become independent. The whole idea of independence, like really, who is dependent? You depend on other nations' wealth. The USA depends on Congo's minerals and then turns around and complains about Congolese immigrants. All right, then do not assassinate the leaders that the people have chosen for themselves. How many of our great leaders have been assassinated by your secret services, by the US, by Canada, by the Europeans, Lumumba in Congo, assassinated by the CIA, the Canadians, the Europeans, collaborating and then installing a local criminal dictator that is their puppet. So that has to stop. That is the other thing that nobody wants to talk about.